Hi, my name is Dr. LaNina Cooke. I'm from Farmingdale State College's Criminal Justice Department. I'm the Assistant Director for the Center for Criminal Justice Studies. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the criminal justice program and some of the things that we do and what our major looks like. Okay, so Farmingdale College, we have a Center for Criminal Justice Studies, which houses all of our criminal justice programs, and currently we have three. So our new program, Police Courts and Corrections, started in the fall. So that was our first time offering the program. So we haven't had a graduating class yet. So our other two programs have been in existence for a long time, especially the 2-year law enforcement program, which is a 2-year and it's 64 credits. Students who usually do this particular program are geared toward law enforcement, where you get your 61 credits and then many students go on to the academy. Oftentimes students either who start the process with going into the academy and sometimes don't get in at that particular time, they end up transferring to a 4-year program. So we get some students who do that. We also get other students that join the 4-year program because in order to be promoted within NYPD, for example, you have to have a 4-year degree. So a lot of students do stick around for the 4-year degree in criminal justice for that particular reason. So the law enforcement technology program is 122 credits. So this program, it's people who want to do law enforcement, and it's also individuals who are interested, some in private security, some of the more behind the scenes type work that law enforcement officers do or that sort of maintain the criminal justice field. The Police Courts and Corrections program is our new program, which is 123 credits. This program is a lot more social oriented, where the classes themselves sort of center around people who want to do social work, as far as in the future, corrections, work within the courts, psychology. So the courses, and I'll talk about them in a minute, they're a lot more social science oriented. So students who want to do something in that particular area generally gravitate towards police courts and corrections. Before we had that particular program, we had many students would get into the law enforcement technology program and sort of be a little bit bewildered at the fact that a lot of it was tech oriented and sort of scared them off. So we started the 4-year program so to keep a lot of students on Long Island so that they can have an option that was a lot more social as opposed to technical. So the main difference between the two programs, the 2-year program is pretty much self-explanatory. The core classes for the 2-year programs are the 100, 200 level courses, and most of those are your basic criminal justice classes that you would find in any other program. So those would be things like Intro to Criminal Justice, Juvenile Delinquency, Law Enforcement, Community Relations, and then there's also law courses, and then upper division law enforcement oriented courses. But the bachelor's programs are a little bit different. So we have law enforcement technology and also police court and corrections. The law enforcement technology program focuses on computers and crime prevention. So it's more behind the scenes. It's more the things that are going to be applied by people who are actually in the field doing the work in regard to what the curriculum actually looks like. The use of technological strategies for security. So upon graduation, we have many students who go on to work in the private security field. Computer forensics and digital evidence. Some students we have who want to have a background in things like criminalistics, computer forensics, generally geared toward this particular program than police courts and corrections. Police courts and corrections, social behavioral focus on crime prevention. So a lot of the courses that are housed in this program are more theoretical. So there's criminology, what else? Victimology, a lot of theory and the behind the scenes sort of theory, law that, and policy also, policy and ethics, which informs police, the courts, and corrections fields. So also policy and program assessment. And we have classes that are centered toward all these things, which is very important for people who are going to go into the field in any of those categories, and also people who do want to gain an advanced degree. And in any of those fields, even forensic psychology, we have some students who go on to do that, mental health counseling, social work. So the courses that we have in this particular discipline are very, very helpful in preparing students to go into this particular field. Criminal Justice Associates program pretty much looks like this. It's 64 credits. There's a free elective thrown in there, but the courses themselves are your intro type criminal justice classes. The 100 level classes, the 200 level classes are taken usually during your third and fourth year after your general education requirements, and then also your 100 level courses. The general education requirements are for everyone on campus generally. There's some that may be a little bit of variation in some, but overall students are required to take things like English 101, statistics, math 110, intro to psychology, intro to sociology. So those are the core classes that everyone on campus has to take. And then once you get into your major requirements, you end up taking some of the intro courses and then also some of the more specialized courses, which are still more theory-based than that. And these classes are also used for both of the 2-year programs in some way, either as an elective or as a required course. Okay. 2-year program, police courts and corrections. So we have some, as you saw with the associates program, some of the same courses are the courses that are required for this. And then there are also upper division courses, 300 and 400 level courses. These aren't all the courses, but these are just examples. But patrol operations, policy and program evaluation, ethics and leadership in criminal justice. There are also electives that students have to take, which are, there's a pool of classes that the student can select from. These classes are usually selected based on the student's interest and also something called micro-credentialing. So what micro-credentialing is a sort of concentration, without being called a concentration, of classes so that a student, once they are prepared to either go into the workforce or go into a graduate program, they have a particular skill set of knowledge. So for example, victimology. If the person is interested in theory and mental health, they may want to choose things like victimology and forensic psychology. If the person is interested in intelligence, they may pick organized crime, intelligence analysis, for example. So there's a whole set pool of classes that we offer in which a student is able to micro-credential. We also have courses in special topics for firearms. We also have other courses which talks about demographical changes in criminal justice and what that actually looks like and the impact on people and communities. The law enforcement technology class, as you can see, is a lot more technical in nature. Some of the classes that are required for both the 2-year and the police course and corrections program are also included in this program, including computer forensics is necessary for all 3. The law enforcement technology program requires computer forensics 2 and 3, so it's a lot more advanced in the technological sense. But all 3 programs have that baseline of knowledge. Crime analysis and mapping, crime prevention systems. So many of these classes also require a lab component where there's a lecture and a lab. So there's a lot of 4-credit courses that go along with this program because it is technical. So criminal justice part, what do we do? So we offer a stimulating and educational hands-on experience. So the picture that you see on your screen is from our mock crime scene. So one of our criminalistics class sections, they do a mock crime scene every semester. This semester we're not on campus, so it's not going as we usually do. But generally we have it on campus where students are able to, so where students, they do the lecture and then they also dissect a crime scene for an applied learning class. We also have a section that we've done for computer forensics also, where students have to investigate a digital crime scene, which is quite interesting also. So our mission is to offer a stimulating and educational hands-on experience where students get a lot of real-life type experience from our classes from professors who have backgrounds in the field. So we have professors that are former law enforcement officers. We have some who have worked for federal, state, local, postal inspector. We also have some from district attorney's offices, private and public law firms. So we have sort of the whole array of people who have worked within the field. Which is good for students because, as far as networking, and also so that they get a better understanding of what the field looks like aside from just books. We also prepare students for their academic and professional careers. So if you're going on to an advanced program, a master's, PhD, JD, we help prepare you for that. And also if you're just going to go forth in a professional career, we do that as well. We support students academically and also provide guidance. So we have a couple of programs. We have a research and mentoring, a RAM program for students who are interested in research, and they work with professional mentors who are in the field, in the designated field. So this is for students who are also outside of criminal justice. We have internships. We also do this one-on-one mentoring with students. If students have a question about a particular field, our doors are open for you to ask us questions and to engage with us, especially if there's any type of networking opportunities, because a lot of us are still connected to people within the field. As I said, we have internships for our 4-year programs. We have an internship class. It's open to students who are in their junior year. Examples of some internships that we have sent students to: New York State Senate, Department of Probation, the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. We have a few interns there this semester who are doing part virtual and then part in person, which is great. So they're having a really good experience with that. FBI, we've had students who have done summer internships at with the FBI, and we have one who now works there full time after her internship experience. New York City Department of Buildings. So we have students who have worked in different internship capacities, and the really good thing about that is that you get to put your foot in and gain some experience, and then also to network along the way. Typical careers. So a lot of students always ask what the typical career is. And then when we have open houses, usually students want to say, oh, I want to do crime scene investigation. And a lot of these jobs, it's a process, and you don't just sort of get thrown in there. There's a process within each particular field, and people generally don't go from the bottom to the top. So there's a process. But as far as typical careers, it runs the whole spectrum of government, from local, state to federal, armed police, campus police, state government, local government, industry, security, probation. So there is, I would say, not one area that we don't have someone working in. We have people working in non-traditional areas, especially if we talk about police courts and corrections, pretrial, which is federal, which is responsible for screening people when they're coming back into the community from being in federal prison. So we have students who've worked there and who are doing really well, and promotions, and a lot of mobility in that particular area. So what we generally like to do is expose students to areas that they're not really familiar with. Last week we had a career fair, virtual career fair, on employment opportunities and policy. So policy, data analysis, statistics. And a lot of students were pretty much surprised, because these are areas that are kind of atypical, that you usually don't hear about, but it's important for students to do. So we do this on a regular basis so that students know that there's more out there besides the local law enforcement, local corrections, and local courts. Particular areas in police courts and corrections. So we can break it down into these areas along with the ancillary areas. So of course the local, the state, federal areas of law enforcement, prosecutor's office, defense attorney's offices, court officers, research institutes. We have individuals who develop policy, who do statistics, data analysis. Some students, along with this, also have an academic minor in business, get an academic minor in sociology, so that they're able to enter the field with a good package of knowledge. We also have students who worked with victim rights, victims agencies. We have an applied learning course that works with victims' rights for our victimology course. Center for Criminal Justice Studies. So like I said, this is the umbrella that all of our criminal justice programs are under. So what do? We do academics, of course. Farmingdale State College is very focused on teaching, very focused on the students and what the students need, student resources, making sure that students are well prepared once they do graduate. So academics, very important, of course. That's why you go to college, for academics, and also the social aspect and the networking aspect as well. But academics is our primary. Research, we do, all of our full-time faculty members do research, and we have different areas of expertise, where some are geared toward juvenile delinquency, others reentry, yet others are more technical, body cameras. So there's a whole spectrum of different areas that we do. Community engagement, we have strong relationships with other nearby colleges and academic institutions, also with local law enforcement, campus police, Suffolk County Sheriff's Office as well. So community engagement is very important, and this is what we do under our center. Community outreach, so outreach to local libraries, outreach to high schools, outreach to communities, so that we can offer what we know, and also for networking, so that you know a little bit about what we do, what we offer, and also how we as faculty can help. And along with this, of course, our partnerships and forging positive partnerships with the local community. So if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to contact me. My name is here, and also my email address. So if you have any questions or concerns, want to know a little bit more about the program, please let me know. Thank you.